too, like actually audio and visual.
So there's visual, hearing, mobility, and
Okay.
so mobility is where like someone may not be able to use a mouse or they may use a keyboard to navigate around and cognition is where if you show somebody like flashing text or silent lots of animation, that might cause them to fit or just cause them issues.
Yeah, I think I remember saying like they had a condition where if there was like loads of parallax scrolling or something goes on, it makes them feel really nauseous because there's tons of like weird movements going on.
When doesn't parallax scrolling make everyone feel nauseous is the real question.
That's true.
So thankfully there's a few Chrome extension you can grab. I'm a bit of a douche, so I'm going to run it against your site.
Mine isn't too bad.
Smoking bomb.
It's not great though.
I guess we'll find out.
Yes.
So we're going to hop into DevTools in the audits panel, check accessibility, and go and run it against this site. You've got a few passing tests, and you've got a few tests that are not passing, so we're going to look at those. The first one is yellow and says the text elements should have a reasonable opacity.
Yeah, I set the opacity low on some of the menu items that aren't selected, so I need to bump them up or find a different way of visualizing it.
One of the nice things about this is if you hover over any of the documents, it will actually visualize it.
Yeah, one of the other things I found, because I have another site, which is the About menu item doesn't actually explain anything about what's going to happen. But if you go into the accessibility options, like in the Elements panel and look at styles and view styles, there's an accessibility drop down. The nice thing with this is it actually shows you what the screen reader would say based on what it's got. And the main reason I like this is it's a nice like representation. It's something that's easy for me to go, oh, okay, that's what a screen reader would like say. But it also shows you area labels that you could put that would affect the screen reader and what it says, which I kind of like because I wouldn't have known what the right area labels would have been. So it's just kind of a nice way of educating yourself as you're going along, figuring out what you can change to get better screen reader support or anything like that.
Cool.
It's nice.
The thing that powers the Accessibility Developer Tools extension is actually called Accessibility Developer Tools. It's like this node module. It's not necessarily just a node module, but basically it gives all the functionality that you might use to go and run these tests locally or hook up to continuous integration in case you wanted to write accessibility tests. So I wrote a while back a module called Ali, A11Y, which gives you basically a CLI and CI module for doing that. You can just go and run it against Travis.
Nice.
It'll do its thing.
Drop in the CI.
Drop it in. Have you heard of Tenon? You have. So Tenon gives you this nice like web UI for just doing nice basic web accessibility. I've run it against developers.google.com and we have a ton of missing overviews.
Yeah, so Tenon is super nice. Like, the only criticism that I have it's great because you don't have to do any tooling. It's super easy to get like a gut check of where you are. But the flip side is when I run my site through it says there's no problems with it, which we both know is now a lie. So it's useful for a gut check, and it's super low effort to get it running on your site, but I question it, I guess.
So Tenon runs against the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines 2.0 advice. So the first thing to keep an eye on is making sure that the components and elements on your page can be accessed using a keyboard and navigated around using a keyboard.
Yep.
Next, make sure that your elements can be used with a screen reader. So, for example, if I go to your website and I turn on VoiceOver, it's basically what it does.
Fire in the hole!
So, it does all of that. Multiple issues people should also make sure that their apps work without sound.
Yep.
So things like games might be worth keeping that in mind.
Something like air horn or the button.
Probably make that accessible. Show a
I think his idea now is just like a